Hey guys, welcome back for another edition of Smart Money Saturday. It is very windy out here, so I'm going to try to keep this thing up. Anyway, I am so happy that I survived November. Obviously, it was my birthday month, but it was also the month that I lost my grandmother. So being December, it's almost like starting over fresh and preparing myself for a new year. And that's where I'm at with that. November is also Thanksgiving. And pretty much that means being with family. And before I even start off with that, I want to thank you guys for subscribing, for sharing, for liking, for commenting on the videos. I definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate having you guys on this journey with me as I work toward debt freedom and my financial goals. And for allowing it to motivate you guys to meet your goals, wherever those are. So one thing I hadn't realized, or I hadn't really given much thought to, but consciously or unconsciously, I know this happens every time you do something. I'm entering, next week will be the week that I deposit my fourth $1,000 savings bundle. So that's kind of like basically 1/3 of my 1 year goal, which is $12,000 saved. And I should have known that at some point it was going to become an issue of people basically becoming naysayers, having something negative to say about my goal or the fact that I'm saving money, or more so the fact that I'm not giving it away and instead deciding to save it. When you start to do something different, it's going to be uncomfortable for people who are stuck doing the same thing. And because of that, most people won't understand what you're trying to do. So, you kind of have to maneuver around that in a way that... Have a seat right there. Yes. Sit right there. You have to maneuver around that. And be confident in your goal. Be confident in what your plans were from the beginning. There was a comment made by a family member, not directly to me, but was to someone else, and it got to me. I ended up being on the receiving end of it. I found out about it basically, and basically the comment was that I'm tight with money, and I'm thinking, okay, I think before I had really set on this journey, I would have been offended by that comment. But because I've decided to be tight with money, like Dave Ramsey, that's what he talks about. Like, you're going to be misunderstood. People are going to make comments about you. They're going to talk about you. They're going to think you're crazy. You're going to be weird because the norm is to spend all your money. The norm is to buy things that you can't afford. And by afford, that means if you can't pay cash for it, you can't afford it. And that's our motto in the debt-free community. If you can't pay cash for it, you can't afford it. If you have to make monthly payments on it, you can't afford it. And so that makes us weird, and we're okay with being weird, okay? Even in my therapy world, I don't even use the word normal because there's no such thing as being normal. And what is normal? Normal is basically societal standards. And at the end of the day, look at society as it is today. It's really, really... Right. So, with that being said, that could have gotten to me, but I didn't allow it to. It was definitely uncomfortable to hear that, especially from someone that I thought would understand my goal. But there's this entitlement complex, and that is that as I come up, I'm obligated to do for you, and the reality is I had to start to set boundaries where everyone around me knew that myself and my 2 children come first, and anything after that is if I choose to, giving, that's automatically in my budget. I always give portion of my income regardless. But as far as giving to people who don't, I'm not required to do anything for them. Like, no, I don't have to. You kind of have to set that boundary early on, and I did that, but obviously it wasn't accepted. It wasn't as clear cut as I needed to be. So I had to set that boundary again, and just wasn't well taken. So I just want to motivate you guys, encourage you to understand that as you're on this journey, people will judge you. They're going to think you're crazy. They're going to think you're stuck up, you're selfish, you're stingy, you're tight with money. They're going to call you every name in the book. But you have to be okay with that. You have to know that my goal 10 years from now, my goal 20 years from now is to be able to do this, to have this freedom, to be able to retire, you got to know what your plans are. You got to know what your long-term goals are. And those are the things that will propel you and motivate you when you're going through those moments where you're internalizing those negative comments. You're around people who are broke and they're expecting you to bring them out of that situation. You're going to have to be motivated. You're going to have to pull from that future thinking. You have to keep that momentum despite the negativity. So I just wanted to share with you guys something that I experienced personally, because that's why I'm walking this journey, or sharing this journey rather. It's because I'm going to experience some of the same thing people that you guys are experiencing, and vice versa. So I want to explain to you what it looks like to go through these situations. Be very transparent. Most people will tell you about stuff, but they won't tell you the negative stuff, the hard stuff, and that's what I do. I'm very transparent. So it's not easy, guys, and I know the more money I save up, the more debt I pay off, the harder it's going to get, and it's always going to come from family. It's going to come from people that's close to you that should understand but don't. So just already expect that and prepare for it, and that's my Smart Money Saturday tip for you guys. I will see you guys Monday. Thanks for tuning in.